Hello, how the heck are you? Doing good. Day 5, losing it already. Day 5 of the US Open 2019. That's where we are. I'm looking more knackered every day, but that's pretty normal. We can sleep next week. Let's have a look at yesterday's results. We had virtually a double day due to the rain delays the previous day. 54 matches yesterday. Decent day overall. Let's go through them. Domino pretty comfortable there, straight sets. Goffin I thought would drop a set, didn't, through in 3. Good result for Kudla. Was favouring Lajovic in that one. Kudla through in 3. Marjarak, I thought he'd have a chance against Cuevas. He did. He was 2 sets to 1 down. Came back to take the 5th pretty easily. There was a bit of a drift in the price the day before this match between Evans and Puy. I did have a look at the time that it started drifting. Didn't look again yesterday. Evans ended up taking it in 4 sets. There you go. I thought Zverev was going to have another tough day. That proved to be the case. He was 2-1 up, but needed a 5th set against TFO. Kekmanovic and Lorenzi. What the hell? Lorenzi was not impressive at all in the previous round. I didn't give him much of a chance. The market didn't give him much of a chance, starting him at 1.08. Tie breaks in the first 3 sets. Lorenzi goes through in 5. That's just odd. That's just tennis. Bedene beat Pair in 5. Pair had... Did he serve for the match in the... Where are we? He served for the match in the 4th set, and I think he was up. Was he up a break in the 5th? Either way, he lost it in a 5th set tie break. Carino Busta, pretty much as expected there. He went through in 4 sets. Baranki's taking the 2nd in a tie break. Wawrinka, again as expected, dropped a set to Shardy, but fairly comfortable in that one. Medvedev struggled. The courts are playing pretty slow, obviously for a hard court. That seems to be giving the clay courters a little bit more chance than they would have normally, and also the players that are relying on their serve to get some cheap points and not having it quite as easy as they would like. They're having to work harder for the service holds. He did get through in the end, but not impressive from Medvedev in that one, through in 4 sets. Berrettini, I think that's a similar situation. If it had been a slightly faster court, Thompson probably would have taken that. I did expect him to. Berrettini through in 4 sets. He's having a good week. Lopez. I expected it. He's playing well. I expected him to do well and take at least a set. Didn't expect him to win that one against Nishioka, but he's through in 4. Basilashvili struggled a little bit in the first 2 or 3 sets actually against Brooksby. Experience showed through in the end. Isner through, tight sets but straight sets. Kukushkin was disappointing, having done well in the previous round. Maybe he thought that was good enough and he was happy with the paycheck. He goes out in 4. Fabiano, I thought would edge that one against Bublik. He did go 2 sets up. Good comeback there for Bublik. And Juhar is one of the clay court players that's definitely liking these courts this week. Sonigo was disappointing though. I mean, they're both pretty experienced on clay, so really that shouldn't have been an issue. Sonigo's hard court results are better. Terrible on the day. Shapovalov, thought he might drop a set in that one. He didn't. He goes through in 3 against Laxonen. Rublev took the 1st set against Simon, who then retired. Thought Gerasimov might take a set from Schwartzman. Didn't. Straight sets there. Kyrgios still looking focused. Gets through in 3. Sandgren is getting on my tits, to be honest, recently. Keep going against him. He keeps proving me wrong. I thought Pospisil might take that one. He had the better results. Sandgren through in 4. He's probably going to win the tournament. Monfils comfortable against Kopil. We'll do the later matches all together. Let's look at the ladies first. Thought Ferro was going to have a decent chance against Mladenovic. Played a very good match there. Quite a few breaks in that one. A lot of pressure on both players' serve. The second serves weren't great. She goes through in 3. Sakari, the advice was to back her if she lost the first set. She did and took the match in 3. Wang, pretty comfortable against Utvank. Tight sets, but job done. Yastremska, comfortable against Peterson. I was expecting 3 sets in Jabeur Sasnovic. I was giving the edge to Sasnovic to win it. Wasn't the case. Jabeur continues her good week, having beaten Garcia in the first round. Kenin, tight first set with Siegmund. Ran away with set 2. I thought Martic and Bogdan might be a little bit closer. She goes through in 2 sets. Expected 3 sets. Makova and Suese. I think the advice in that one was to lay the first set winner, so that worked out okay. Probably the surprise of the day, Petkovic taking out Kvitova in 2 sets. See that one coming. Sevastova Swiatek. I expected 3 sets in that one. Don't remember who I actually favoured to win it. Either way, Sevastova takes it. She reached the semis last year, so a bit more motivation perhaps for her. Osaka managed to get through 1 in straight sets. Lynette played a lot of tennis recently, perhaps not as sharp as she was in the previous round. Kontovic Tomiljanovic was always going to be close. 3 sets. Kontovic takes it. Very easy for Konto. Just lost the 1 game. Alexandrova and Zhang I thought would go the other way. She played well, can we say. Very good win for her. 3 sets. Alexandra put her under a lot of pressure, especially in that 3rd set, but just couldn't get the break back. Mertens comfortable, 2 sets there. I thought Pliskova may take a set if she served really well. Kostea, Bolsova. So far as the advice on the email went, Kostea broke first and Bolsova came back to take the set, so that worked out absolutely fantastic. Superb price swing in that one. And then Kostea at the end of that set was complaining for ages. I think she called the referee out at one point over a call towards the end of the set actually. And I was surprised to see that she went through in that 3rd set. I was green after the 1st set and moved on. Andreescu reasonably comfortable against Flipkins. Sabalenka started well against Putintseva. She was a breakup, then lost the plot a little bit. In the 2nd set she went up as well. I think Putintseva had a medical timeout and it looked like Sabalenka was going to take over. Putintseva in 2. Very disappointing from Sabalenka. Did say I didn't think that Halep was 100%, and I think I was proved right there. I also said that I didn't think Townsend had the game to beat her, even if she wasn't 100%, so maybe I get half a point for that one. Townsend, excellent performance, takes her out in a 3rd set tiebreak. Bencic, pretty much as expected, 3 sets against Cornet. Ostapenko risk. Did you watch that one? One of the most fucked up opening sets I've ever seen. Ostapenko hit, I think it was 7 double faults in the first game of the match and still held. I say I think it was 7. Tennis24.com, who I use for the live stats, couldn't keep up with how many double faults she was hitting. She scraped through that one. She then broke serve in the next game. She faced break points again, more double faults in the 2nd service game that she played. Held then as well. She ended up being 4-0 up. Risk fought back and kept breaking, but then would get broken again. It's just a horrible match. Cost me a few quid, to be honest. Risk poor. Ostapenko on the return games, to be fair, was pretty good. If she can just get her own serve sorted out, she could be an absolutely superb player. She just can't get it. Just can't get it straight in ahead. Anyway, next one. Burton struggled against Pavlyuchenkova. Pav was up a break in both sets, actually. Was she 5-2 up in the first, and then I think 4-1 up in the second. But Burton's goes through in straight sets. Guegues, I thought that would be a little bit closer. I think my advice there was to lay the first set winner, which obviously didn't work too well. Kalinskaya, I expected to be too strong for Arn. She played an absolutely awful match. I think she won 7 points on her own serve in that first set. Was better for the first half of set 2, but then fell apart again. Awful performance from her. Pretty much expected there. Bekic taking out Kanepi. Thought that may go to 3. But she goes through in 2 sets as well. Look at the late matches. I'd expected Chung to win and thought Verdasco would take a set. Verdasco actually took a 2-set lead. Chung eventually fought back. 5th set tiebreak. Very good comeback there. Cilic, I said there was a chance Steva would take a set. Proved to be right. Cilic threw pretty comfortably in the end in 4 sets. Wozniacki had a real struggle with Collins. She dropped the first set. Had a big lead in the second set, either 5-1 I think she was. Perhaps had points for a 6-1 set. Collins broke, held serve, didn't quite manage to fight back in that set, and then it was pretty close in the third. Gove was broken right at the start of that match, but came back. Good effort from Babos. Gove through in 3. And breathe. Okay, let's take a look at today's matches. Okay, here we go. Obviously, we're in the third round. We'll look at the men's first. Nishikori Tamino. It's quite a tricky one to assess, this one. It's the first time they've played. Their overall results favour Nishikori. Hardcourt results favour Tamino. Longer term... Typo again. Longer term hardcourt results are quite even. Stats for the tournament favour Nishikori, although one of his opponents retired. There's not a lot to separate them really, so we've got some value on Domino. I do give Nishikori the slightest edge. I'm going to look to back him around about 1.85, and it's worth laying the set 1 winner. Don't think he's going to win in straight sets, excuse me. Federer against Evans. Federer's won all 3 of the previous matches. Last time they met was January this year on a hardcourt in straight sets. Evans has never managed to take a set from him. However, Federer has dropped the first set in both his matches so far. Evans is certainly on a par with those 2 players. I'd be surprised if Federer does drop a set today, but surprised he dropped a set in either round, to be fair. Not sure what his issue is. Back him if he loses the first set. But we'll be surprised if it happens again. Karina Buster, Goffin. Buster's won both the previous matches. Most recent was on hardcourt 2018 in 3 sets. Goffin slightly better overall results. Buster has better hardcourt results. Longer term hardcourt results are pretty even. Goffin dropped a set in the first round, pretty solid in the last one. Buster's dropped the second set in each of his matches. This is going to be close. 4 or 5 sets. It's really tough to pick a winner, so we've got some value on Carino Buster. Lay Goffin around about 1.3, take some liability out 1.6, and lay the set 1 winner. Dimitrov had, well, an easy last round when his opponent pulled out. Faces Marjarak in this one. It's the first time they've played. Marjarak's got better results. but he plays a mix of Challenger and ATP events. His hardcourt results are also better. Dimitrov, not been in great form, but does seem to have lifted himself for this tournament. Certainly played well against Seppi, and obviously didn't have to play the last round, so didn't put a foot wrong really. Marjarak's played 5 sets in both matches so far. Beat Jarry and Cuevas, obviously underdog in both. Consecutive 5-set matches can tire a player out, and because due to the rain delays he played against Cuevas yesterday, he's not had as much time to recover as normally he would do. And I think if this turns into a long match, that's going to work against him, and Dimitrov will take it. I expect Dimitrov to take it anyway, and we'll back him if he loses set 1. Most likely outcome for me is Dimitrov in 4 sets. Wawrinka, Lorenzi. Wawrinka's won all 3 of the previous matches. The most recent was on a hard court in March 2017. He's won all their previous matches in straight sets. Overall results favour him. Lorenzi lost in the qualifying rounds, really struggled against an inexperienced player in the first round of the main draw. But then yesterday beat Kekmanovic. Was it 5 sets? I don't think it was even 5 sets. Was it 4 sets? Who knows? We've just looked at that. He beat him anyway. I don't think the slower courts issue is going to give him any advantage today, because obviously Stan Wawrinka is a superb clay player as well. No real value on that one. I think Wawrinka is going to win it in straight sets. You really want to get involved, try a lay on Wawrinka, take some liability out. 0.15. He should be comfortable in that one. Lopez Medvedev. This is an interesting one. And interesting because I've said that the courts are slower than normal, and that the players who rely on serve are struggling and having to work harder for their holds. Lopez has a poor record on clay, so the slow court argument doesn't favour him at all. He does rely heavily on his serve. His game is more suited to grass courts. Does okay on hard courts. Yet this week he's been in good form, had a good grass season. This week, let's have a look. He's beaten Fritz and Nishioka both in 4 sets. And in each match he was broken once. So he's been broken twice in 8 sets. So he's definitely bucking the trend of which players are enjoying the conditions and who isn't. Medvedev struggled in the last round. He's played well on clay this year, to be fair, but he definitely prefers the faster courts. He's having to work so much harder, and the fact that he's struggling was demonstrated by the fact that Delian took a set from him yesterday. He was broken 6 times by Delian. Normally you'd expect 2-3 times maximum against Delian, who has an awful record on hard courts. I think that's going to be an interesting match. Definitely some value on Lopez. Medvedev starts 1.5. Probably a fair price, but I think he's not going to have an easy day today. Back him around 1.8, and it's worth laying the set 1 with. Medvedev is not going to win that in straight sets. Djokovic Kudla, don't see that being much of a spectacle, to be honest. Djokovic has won their only previous match. That was on grass this year, straight sets. Hasn't lost a set so far this week, although he was broken 5 times in the last round by Londero. Kudla's played reasonably well, serving quite well. It's going to be comfortable for Djokovic. Be amazed if Kudla takes a set from him. Take a look at ladies. A little bit bigger. Didn't expect Jabber to be in the 3rd round, I must say. It's the first time that she's played Pliskova. Obviously much stronger results for Pliskova. Jabber hasn't had a good season so far. I'm amazed that she is in this third round. As I say, she beat Garcia in the first round, Sasnovich in the last round. Pliskova made hard work of a first round match. She was more comfortable in the last one. We could try a lay on Pliskova around about 1.1 and take some liability out at 1.2. It's not unusual for her to have a slow start. It's not unusual for her to get an early break and then throw it away, to be fair, but she should be comfortable in this one. Martic Sevastova should be a little bit more competitive. Head-to-head's 1-1. Most recent was on clay last year. Sevastova won that in straight sets. Both their matches were on clay. Martic's got better overall results, hard court results, quite even in the last 12 months. And Sevastova has got a slight edge, another typo, this season. Starts for the tournament slightly favour Sevastova. I think we've got a very good chance of 3 sets in that one. Sevastova reached the semis last year. She hasn't had an amazing season. Seems to have lifted herself for this. Whether she can keep that going, we will see. I think we're going to get 3 sets anyway. I thought she'd struggle against Swiatek, and she did need 3 sets, but did get through it, and I think that'll do her some good. In the preparation for this one, back Sevastova around about 2.1, and it's worth laying the set 1 winner. Sakari Barty. Barty leads 3-1. Barty, as we know, had an awful start to the week. First set was terrible. After that, she's looked pretty much back to her normal self. Served well after that first set in the first round. What have we got? Hardcourt results are stronger for her. Sakari came under a lot of pressure yesterday from Pong. That went to 3 sets. Hard to see Barty losing this one, but we needed to get broken or we're going to get anything like a decent price, so we could just wait for her to lose the first set. Konta has been playing pretty well. Today she takes on Zhang. Konta leads 4-1 in the previous matches. Last time they played was back in 2016. It was on a hard court. Konta took that in 2. All their matches were on hard courts. Zhang's win was 2013. So nothing recent between the two. Zhang came through a tough match against Alexandrova yesterday. She won that in 3 sets. Came under a lot of pressure but stood up to it well. Konta dropped a set to Kazatkina in the first round. Dropped just 1 game against Gasparian yesterday. She's serving well, and when, I keep saying this, when she's serving well, she's so tough to beat. Gotta go with Konta, but not at 1.31. Against a confident Zhang. I'm going to need Konta to get broken or lose the first set before I get involved. Serena Williams and Makova, first time they've met. Serena, very easy win in the first round over Sharapova. She did drop a set against McNally in the last round, which was expected really. There's a very good chance of that one. And I think she could easily drop a set in this one as well. I would say McNally had the edge over Makova in terms of taking on Serena. Serena's going to come through it, so hopefully she makes a slow start. She does tend to make slow starts these days. She needs to be broken and Makova hold serve before we get a price that's worth backing. Okay, next one, Ferro against Wang. Wang leads 3-1. Most recent was this month on a hard court. Wang took that in 2. All her wins were on hard courts. Ferro won on clay in May this year. 12-month results favour Wang, but they're fairly even in 2019. Wang's got stronger hard court results. She's moved through the week pretty quietly so far. She hasn't dropped a set. She's been broken just once in each match. No dramas, she's just done what she needs to do. Ferro's had a solid win in the first round. Second round, she beat Mladenovic in 3 sets. She was broken 9 times in that match, though. Both players, I think, struggled on the second serves. Chance of 3 sets. Ferro is very confident at the minute. Got to go with Wang for the win. Back her if she gets broken, that would be enough to give us a decent price. Svitolina Yastremska, first time they played. Overall results are quite even, but slightly favour Yastremska. Hardcourt results favour her as well in the last 12 months. They're pretty even this season though. Long-term hardcourt results are pretty even. Yastremska had to work pretty hard in the first round, but she was comfortable in the last round against Peterson. Svitolina obviously beat Venus Williams in the last round. That was straight sets. She was behind in the second set. I believe it was 3-0 down. Williams wasn't good that day, it has to be said. Svitolina has not had the best season. She did reach the fourth round last year, so she'll obviously be looking to do at least that, and definitely better if she can. I'm just reading through what I've written. I think Svitolina is going to take this. It's going to be 3 sets. Back Svitolina around about 1.9. And last one, 2 Americans to finish off the day. Head to head is 1-1, Kenin and Keys. Most recent was in Cincinnati this month. Keys won their semi-final in 2 sets. Kenin's win was on clay also in 2019. That went to 3 sets. Overall results pretty even. Kenin's got better hardcourt results in the last 12 months, and also this season. Keys' form has improved more recently. Both playing well. Very good chance of 3 sets. It should be tight. I was surprised that the semi-final in Cincinnati didn't go to 3. So we've got some value on Kenin. Got to give Keys the edge. She's serving well. She's confident. She's relaxed on court. And I think that is going to give her enough to get through. Back around about 1.9 or wait for her to be broken. I would take the 1.9 if you see it and lay the set 1 winner. That's it for today. Nice when there's not too many matches to research, and see you tomorrow.